Hey guys, welcome to your Let's Be Swag Wednesday. I'm currently trying to get my printer to stop making noises. I'm Trish, and I'm your Wednesday girl. And today's topic is, well, we have a sort of a broad topic. It's sort of, I guess, crushes and gaydar and girls in general. Also, you're going to get unedited Tricia today, which means lots of like and I mean and because I don't have a lot of time to do this. Because as you can see, it's like 9:30, and I'm just now posting. Um, I just drove home 7 hours from the lake, and I'm, as you can tell, sunburnt and disgusting, and I don't really care. But anyways, let's decide Wednesday crushes. How do I tell if someone's gay? Do I use gaydar? Do I look at their clothes? Do I just ask them flat out? I would probably say that after a while, you sort of just have a little bit of gaydar, like at least a little bit. I don't have a super great gaydar like Deanna, but I can sort of tell. But then also, since I'm in high school, it's one of those situations where a lot of people who are gay don't even know they're gay yet. So even if you think they are, you might get a "No, I'm not gay. What are you talking about?" Answer. My first girlfriend actually told me she was not gay for the longest time before she admitted it, and then we dated, and that was how that went. But I sort of use gaydar, and like sometimes gay girls have like a certain like swagger. I think. Um, I know this is super cliche and super stereotypical, but I kind of always look for like the comic book, like into comic book kind of things, like 90s kind of kid kind of thing, um, which is not always effective, but that's kind of how I can tell if a girl is gay, just sort of by the way they dress a little bit and by the way they act. This is really broad. I don't really understand either at all, so I'm probably not the best to discuss that. But crushes on straight girls, I am definitely good at that. I have a terrible, terrible, terrible habit of falling for straight girls. So a lot of times that is the situation more often than not as far as girls I like. My first crush, I think I realized I was gay, which I talked about before, when I was still in love with my English teacher, which was emotional. But also the next year I fell madly in love with my very best friend, which I think I also mentioned last Wednesday. But my best friend, Kelsey, I was completely like madly in love with her for like all of freshman year. She was everything I wanted to be, and more. And I just wanted to be around her. It started as just like an extreme admiration talent crush, but it evolved into something so much bigger than that. We sat next to each other in drama every day, and I would bring candy just so we would have something to talk about, like for sure. And it was just, it was one of those things where like I never got a chance to get away from her because I saw her literally every day. But it was very, very intense, and she was a senior and I was a freshman, and we were really good friends, and we hung out, and just like every time I saw her, she was, oh, it just made me so happy. And like I would go through my entire day, every passing period, just looking for her in the hallways, and it just became this huge, huge deal because we were in all the same activities. And I eventually hit the point where I was too enthralled with her to be able to keep it to myself. Like I had to talk to people about it. And eventually, after about 6 months, it hit the point where everyone but her and a few people who were my close friends didn't know because they were blabbermouths, but pretty much everyone else knew. Like, looking back, it's a miracle she never found out, but um, I was just so like enthralled with her, and I seriously considered trying to get over her, but there was literally just like no way to do it until I knew she was going to graduate. So I was just like, okay, I'll wait it out until summer, and I'll hopefully get over her over the summer, and which kind of ended up being what happened. But I was just completely in love with her, and I was less obsessed, I guess, once it hit like the end of the school year. I actually ended up meeting a girl, and the reason I came out to her as bisexual, I'm actually not bisexual, I thought I was at the time, was because I started dating the girl that I told me that she wasn't gay repeatedly. Um, and I wanted to share that with her, and then she just randomly one day asked me if I'd ever had a crush on her. And I was like, okay, it's now or never. And so I told her, I was like, yeah, I actually had like a massive do. Um, but it's kind of hard to explain how big it was, so I'm just going to send you a Facebook message about. I wrote letters to you all year, and here's one of the letters that I wrote to you, and so you can understand exactly what I was feeling. And after she read it, she went to dinner, and then she read it, and she texted me, and she was just like, I literally have no words. That is like the sweetest thing anyone has ever said about me. I can't imagine what you went through and how hard that must have been, and I'm so sorry that I hurt you so much. And I'm sorry that I don't feel the same way, but I love you so much still, and this doesn't change anything between us. And you're such a fantastic girl, and you're gonna do big things. And she was just so sweet about it, and like she hadn't even heard the half of it yet. It was just one of those unrequited letters. It would be like, Dear Kelsey, I love you, blah blah blah, and I know that you'll never love me back. Unrequited, 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 yada yada yada. Um, Maybe for kicks and giggles, I'll try and find it on Facebook at some point and post it somewhere, like on Tumblr or something. But I was really scared to see her after that, even though she took it really well. I was still nervous that things would be awkward or different. Um, since it had taken me so long to come out to her in the first place, that was probably the biggest reason why it took so long, is because I was afraid of things changing. Which, even though I know she was totally cool with it, flattered even, I was still nervous. And we ended up going to like Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, I think, at like 6 p.m. after I got back from vacation one night, and we ended up being. I left my house at 6, and I was out with her until like 2 in the morning. And that was the nice thing, is because my parents just like trusted her so much, like they knew that I was in good hands with her, so they didn't even like care what time I came home. But I remember after we saw the movie, we went to IHOP, and then we literally just sat in a park. And I literally told her every single stupid little thing I did all year long, for her. Like the time I sent her an anonymous rose on Valentine's Day, because our school would like send like little like dollar roses out, and I put her full name on like the order form, but then I only put her first name on the sticker that they put on the rose. So she was like, she didn't think it was her. She thought if it was for her, that it was from her ex-boyfriend, but that there were a lot of Kelseys in her grade, so it might not be hers. So she gave it back, and I was just like crushed, because one of my other friends was in her homeroom, and she told me like she gave it back, and I was just like, sure. It was terrible, but I told her every little thing that I ever did, and she was just so fantastic about it, and she just was completely accepting, and she thought it was the most adorable, no, the most adorkable thing ever. She thought it was a total dork, but she was so flattered by it, and I think we were closer because of that. Oh, I forgot to let my dog in. I think we were closer because of that in the long run, and I'm just really grateful that I had that experience. But I'm also gonna say that might not be the right decision for everybody. We had a very, very strong friendship and a very strong connection, and despite being scared, I was confident that I wasn't going to lose that. But you really have to gauge the situation, I think, and think about it. Is it really necessary? Do you think it's necessary? I was at the point where I was like, okay, I know I'm not going to get over you until I tell you. Like, you're going to go off to college, but I'm never going to come full circle with this unless I tell her. And I knew I had to do it. I had to. But I think if you can get over it without that and avoid risking a friendship, because I think it is risky no matter how confident in a friendship you are, but I think it's the right decision for some people, but not the right decision for other people. And this is going to be probably over 10 minutes again. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I sorry I don't have more like specific advice to give you. If you have any questions, as always, you can totally hit me up in my ask box. I totally been there with the straight girl crushes and the unrequited crushes in general. So just give me an ask anytime you want, and the link will be down there. And I hope you guys have a great week. And remember, you are beautiful and perfect just the way you are. Bye!